Hey, welcome to JoeGa Joy Fitness with me, Joe, and with Mickey. I don't know if you can see him, but he is on his bed. Let me just show you. He's just here with us. Say hi, Mickey. And today we have got a nice stretch release workout. So when you're ready, we're going to clear our mat and come down to our Shavasana. So 3 more breaths here if you can, just really looking for that relaxation down. Long, slow, deep breaths. And then we'll just bend the knees if you've not already got them bent, and just roll onto one side, coming into that embryo pose. So I want us to come through and into this embryo pose and get us working and opening. Lovely. And just pausing here. Again, my head is not fully in position because of the earpiece. I just don't want to disconnect the call, but we are in embryo, as you know, as tight as we can get, as comfortable as you are. And then from here, for you people at home on your mat, when you turn over, you're going to be probably facing away from the screen, so you might have to shimmy and shimmy round. But come onto all fours if you can. So yeah, you kind of have to go round and over. And just thinking about those shoulder blades, really squeeze them together, working through cat and cow. And where that need is, just thinking about holding in the cow pose a little bit more, okay? Now, with regards to the quads, that movement through the legs, this should help with that as well. So, you know, opening the chest, working through the shoulder blades and through the hips, so rolling the pelvis under. So this will work for both of you in regards to your requirements today. So we'll be looking at doing things that link both of I've got a few ideas in my head about quads and shoulders, opening chest. So we'll see how we go with that. It's always good to have a focus. And again, just lifting up. So Shilpa, for you, we want you to be concentrating more on this downstroke, so you're opening across the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades together. So you kind of take a sip of breath as you rise, and then as you come down, really hold and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. Alpa, for you, you can kind of flow it a little bit more because your requirements are below the waist. If you just excuse me a second, I just feel like I'm coming apart here. Lovely, and we'll just do this a couple more times. Really good for releasing tension in the lower back as well. So if you've been sitting or if you've any tension there, and then just anything that feels a little bit nice, you know, a little bit of movement. So that's quite linear, you know, just up and down. This way we're going to just kind of shimmy and shake and work at all things. I'm just gonna even my mat out, so swaying side to side, round and round on the wrists, you know, anything that kind of just grabs you to just iron out. And then again, we'll take traditional child's pose, but for Shilpa, for you, I want you to keep the arms extended forwards because this is going to give you an upper back contraction. Alpa, for you, you can decide what you want to do. So if you prefer to do a more traditional child, you can come here. If you want that upper back squeeze as well, you can take the arms forwards. It's a bit more difficult to do extended child when you're on the thighs, so you kind of sometimes go over the handlebars a little bit. So just remember to try and keep that bottom down, and if, like me, your bum just is nowhere near your heels, popping the head on a block can be very beneficial. But again, think about squeezing that upper back. So in terms of the quadriceps here, you know, you're getting a nice lengthening through those quads from the knee to the hip. Nice stretch, and in the upper back as well. So again, this is a posture that suits both of you and both of your needs. And please feel free to come back to this posture at any point through this class if you're just feeling like it's too much, or you just need to, you know, just have a moment. So please do that. All right, let's come back up onto all fours. I'm just gonna turn around, just hopefully so you've got a better view of me. You don't need to do that. So we're just gonna be here. So we're just gonna take the right arm, your right arm, up towards the sky. So again, you'll be feeling that there's a bit of a lengthen through the quad, but you're also getting that openness through the chest, so pushing up. And then as you breathe in, just float the hand down. If you need to adjust where the left hand is, please bring it more towards the midline, that's fine. But you're really looking to just float and release, lifting the arm up and down, opening the chest, and then back. Lovely. And again, just holding it here. Nice, and coming back down. And one more time, really hold and push to the ceiling. Really looking for a straight line from fingertip all the way down to fingertip. And then just release off. And just again, just circle through the wrists here, so just taking it round just because of the pressure that's been through that supporting wrist. And then, excuse me, taking it to the other side, twist and open. And float it down. And twist and open, and down, and twist and open, and down. One more time, hold this one at the top, just looking for a nice big stretch. Lovely. And then release. Good work. And then just kind of roll those wrists again, just little circles, and back the other way. Nice. And then thinking about those quadriceps, we're going to just take a step forwards and press through. So lengthening through. Remember to stack out the knee if it's really, I've got 3 mats here, so I'm quite good. But if you need to, put something under the knee, a cushion, or fold over your mat. And then what I'd like you to do is push up here. So you're lengthening through. And then if you can, wrap the arms around behind. And again, I'm just going to adjust position so you've got a look. And stretch out here. So you'll be opening through the chest again here, looking to lengthen. And it doesn't matter if you can't get your arms very far away from the body, or if at all, or if you're really high and they're up, you know, horizontal. But you're looking for that stretch across the chest. And you might have noticed in my breath, as soon as we do this, because we're compressing the lungs, because you're getting that squeeze, get a bit breathy in this as well. So pressing through, just really keep on with that stretch through the leg and opening through the chest. And then straighten that front leg, and you're just going to look to bow down, lifting those arms up. So you've got a hamstring stretch now as well. And then release that off and just circle through the shoulders. You can just kind of settle the legs into the middle so you feel steady. Remembering turning the toes over at the back is also a way. So I've got shoulder rolls going backwards. And then just come back onto all fours, please. And again, just taking it back into that extended child. Remember which leg you step through. And just take a moment to kind of let everything settle. And then coming back up onto all fours, if you will, please. Stepping through with that other side. So looking for the lunge first and then rising. Lovely. Now if you take your hands behind, if you interlace or if you hold, just think about changing that to the unnatural interlace or the unnatural hold. And again, I'm just going to turn this way so you can see. So we're pressing this through, stretching through psoas and here, and just looking for that extension through the arms. So you've got a nice stretch through the chest, through the shoulders as well, particularly the frontal part of your delts. And then just straightening that leg, tipping the head forwards, coming into that bow down. And again, if you're a bit wobbly, tucking the toes under at the back will help stabilize if that's needed. Lovely. And then just release that off, come back up to kneeling, and this time we'll just circle forwards. And again, sitting like this is just going to lengthen those quads for that thigh injury. So we're working again a little bit for both of you. Nice work. I'm going to come down onto my tummy. All right, again, I'm just going to turn my position just so I can see you and you can see me. I'd like you to come down onto your tummy. Just come onto the forearms actually. So just lifting up through the spine, press the chest forwards, really feel like you're kind of driving your chest through the arms as if you're pulling your arms back. I don't know if you can see that little bit of movement, but it kind of, you know, really pulls back and lengthens, and you're going to stretch through the tummy. All right. And then you can release that tension off. So again, this is going to be a combination move that's going to suit both of you with both of your needs. Bending the knee and reaching back. So you're going to be opening the chest here. You're going to be stretching that quad here. So it's linking both of you. And just, you know, if you need to lie it down, if you need to take it a little bit less, that's absolutely fine. If you can take it a little bit more, pressing up, press that foot away from you. So the closer it is into you, the less stretch on the chest, the more it's away from you. And if you're not able to quite grab that foot, you can always maybe have a go at grabbing clothing, or if you have a strap, oh, mine's just out of the way. But if you've got a strap, remember you can lasso that around the leg. Okay, superb. So just holding here for one more breath. And then just release off. And again, posture that's going to benefit both of you. Just push up into down dog, please. It can be a nice gentle down dog to begin with. We just want to stretch out that lower back. You're getting a squeeze through the shoulder blades. You're opening the chest, driving the chest towards the thighs. And maybe just a little bit of a pedal. Because even with a quad injury, you know, we don't want to actively work just the quad, because it works as pairs. It works with other muscles. You know, so we can't just isolate it, otherwise it will just make an imbalance the other way. So it's good to lengthen the hamstrings here as well and give those quads a little bit of a break, and then we come back into that more specific. So come down onto all fours. Let's take it back down onto our tummy. Just find your sphinx, drive your heart forwards, lengthen through. Lovely. And then taking the other side, I probably should have turned around, you probably can't see this one, so good. So just, and again, if it's too much on the quad, just drop the body down. That's gonna just lessen how much it hurts to pull that quad. It shouldn't, the pain shouldn't be sharp or stabby, it shouldn't be like shocking, but you can feel that there is a nice stretch there, hopefully. Just working through. I always find that this quad for me is much tighter than the other one, so I always find that this one speaks to me stronger than the other side, so it's always good to just notice that. And if you need to spend a few extra breaths with one particular side, if it's a bit tighter, a bit stiffer, a bit more sore, then, you know, honouring that, doing that, is always good. And then just releasing off. We're going to just take that down dog again, coming up. It's a nice way to counter. It's also a nice way to get inversion in as well, dropping that head towards the ground. Pressing the hips up. But really feel like you're squeezing those shoulder blades together and opening up that chest. It's nice and important. Okay, and then again we're going to just come down onto our tummy, so drop those knees to the ground, and we're going to drop and peel our body through. So I'm just wondering which way is the best way to work this. I'm going to work it so it's towards the camera for you guys. So I'm going to actually use my true right hand, and I'm going to place my right hand beside my body with my elbow bent. Okay, so I'm going to just change my position ever so slightly so I'm diagonal so you can see. My left arm is going to go out at shoulder height, but that might feel too strong. So if it is, the closer it comes to the body, the easier this is going to be, okay? So just bear that in mind. So one hand right next to your chest, right near your underarm, elbow is bent, one arm extended out. And then the elbow that's bent, you're gonna push into that, and you forgive me for turning away from you, giving you my back, but we're pushing in and we're stretching through now this shoulder joint, okay? And I've got my knees bent and I'm tucking them in, and I'm just really concentrating on this delt here. Okay, so hopefully you've got that. And again, I'm just going to alter my position just so you've got a little bit more. So you're pushing into the bent hand, coming around and just tucking those knees in. So you can keep the head on the floor, that's absolutely fine. I actually like to sit up a little bit through this one and just notice it. But as I say, if it's too strong, bring that back hand, that straight arm towards the body a little bit more, and that will take a little bit of the stretch out. Okay. And just holding and breathing, you know, holding these stretches really important. Making sure they move towards the developmental side, and then just releasing that off. Come back onto your front, please, and we'll just take the palms together, bringing the hands up. Walk the elbows forwards, legs are extended behind. I'm a little bit close to the wall here. Drop the hands behind the head and drop the forehead to the mat, and really work on pushing those elbows forward, so just kind of stretching out through the underarms, lengthening triceps. One more breath. And release. And then we'll take that on side 2, okay? So this is a really nice exercise. You can do this in bed of a morning before you get up. You know, you can do it, just pop down onto the floor. But this is now my true left hand. My right hand is extended. And again, I've gone at shoulder height, but remember, anywhere towards the body is going to make it a little bit more accessible. Pushing out to my left and tucking my knees up and looking for that stretch in my right deltoid. And again, head up or head down, just personal preference really. I always feel when I put my head down that I'm kind of hanging upside down a little bit, so this keeps me nice and on an even plane. Just breathing into it. Just one more breath if you can. Keep pressing down into that arm that's in front of you, that's really keeping the tension on that back shoulder. And then releasing off, and again, just coming into that prayer pose, closing down, opening through the underarms, closing down through the third eye. And then let that go. I'm gonna just spin round again, forgive me. I'm like a, you know, when the dog's trying to get comfortable and they spin round and spin round. We're gonna take, so you have the option here, depending on how you're feeling, to take those individual side legs again, one at a time, or we're going to take full Dharasana, the bow pose, where we bend both, and you're looking to reach both feet at once. And again, this will open the chest and it will stretch the quads. So it's a great one for linking these two needs together and lifting up as best you can. My quads are not playing ball today. They are very sore. So just, I'm keeping it quite low, but feel free to lift up as high as you can go, feeling your way through it. And we're going to hold this for about 10 seconds. So just breathing in and breathing out. Don't hold your breath, but you can hold the posture. We're already halfway through. So 3, 2, 1, and release. And just rock those hips and massage into the mat. Lovely. Good work. Come on up. What I'd like you to do again, I'm going to combine the leg positions with the arms. So sitting on the heels here, we'll take Swastasana. So sit the bum to your left, legs to your right. And this is going to give you that internal rotation here, the external rotation here. And then we're going to take, first of all, eagle arms. Okay, so I'd like you to spread your wings nice and wide and take your right arm underneath and your left arm over the top and wrap them around. And this is, are you aiming to try and get those hands palm to palm as much as you can? But I just want you to feel that stretch in the upper back, because although you're feeling like you're very tight here and the upper back, is like this. What we're trying to do here is lengthen the upper back, so actually get a active stretch in it rather than this passive when we're kind of at the computer and doing that. So this is our active stretch into the back here. And just play with the elbows. Drop the elbows down and lift the elbows up, and you'll feel that stretch will differ, it will change, it will move. It's nice work. And just one more time, just working through. Lovely. And then we can just release that off, and we're going to just sit back. So again, I don't have a great amount of space here, I've not set myself up. So we're just going to see if we can just sit back, maybe onto elbows, trying to keep those legs down, and you'll feel that stretch into that right thigh. And if this is not feeling like a stretch, you may be able to come all the way down. Notice how my knees popped up when I've done that, because I don't have the range of motion for it, so I'm going to stay up. But yeah, that's it. One of you down, one of you up, that's perfect. Just a nice stretch in there. But also with the chest again, you know, with the elbows behind you, you can lift up the chest, you can really open. So we're working for both of you. Nice. And then just come on up onto elbows if you've gone down flat. Roll the knees up and bring the feet in. You can come back up again onto hands, lifting up through the chest. So this looks like this from the side. Again, you're opening the chest, and just roll the knees from side to side. Nice. I'm just going to change sides. Lovely. And then we drop the knees over to the right, readjust yourself back into that Swastasana, and you've got side two. Okay. Spread the wings, open out nice and wide. You wrap the left underneath, you bring the right up on top and into Garuda arms. And then again, just thinking about dropping the elbows and then raising them up. And you'll just feel your way through how this activates into from passive to active and back again. And again, just feels good. And then you can release the arms and we'll take that lean. So starting off, just kind of leaning back into the hands, seeing how that feels. Might be different side to side. As I say, I know this quad for me is way tighter than that one. I'm not quite sure why it is the way it is, but straight away it's coming up already. So I'm going to stay up for this side because it's good enough. So see how it is for you. Lovely. One more breath. It's always nice to just go slowly and gently through. And then come on up, if you're not already up, come on up onto your hands, onto your elbows all the way. Roll those legs out the front and just let them go side to side. Good. Excellent. Come on all the way up. I'd like you to cross your legs with your right leg in front, if that feels comfortable. And if you've got something to pop under your hips, you can, just for support. So you've got a nice straight spine. That's it. Put a cushion under there. Roll up your mat, anything. Okay. Nice. So again, just with this posture, you're looking to kind of lengthen through. So just being able to just notice that we're getting a bit of length through there, we're getting openness through the hips. And we'll just take our right arm and we're going to thread it round the back and over to the left side. So my hand is here and my arm is along the back, and I'll just show you what that looks like. If I was doing it, it's right the way round and across. So it's not just kind of sitting in my back here. I want it to come right in. So we're really opening up into that shoulder and taking it around. And then you can grab hold, if you can grab hold of the wrist, when you grab hold of the fingers and you start pulling, you can kind of pull the, you know, there's all these joints and you can't start pulling them apart. We don't want to do that. So if you hold the wrist and pull, you know, there is a lot more safety involved in that. So pulling through, and hopefully you can feel this opening up here. Feel that stretch through the deltoid. Okay, and just keep working on pressing those knees towards the ground, working on those quads as well. And then just releasing that off, just bringing it across the front. So this is the rear delt, still open through the chest, drop through that shoulder, so you're now stretching the back of the shoulder. Lovely. And then taking it up and dropping that hand down behind, holding the joint here and pulling it back. So we're starting off in our cow face, but we're starting with this kind of more traditional tricep stretch here. So you're lengthening through, nice and straight through the spine. And then if you want to, take the hand off that joint, take it around behind and see if you can hold your own hand. If you can't hold your own hand and you do have a strap, this is really beneficial. You can just sort of drop the strap. I'm just going to pop it without unrolling it. So I'll show you from the side. Put the strap so that it's over here. Take this arm up and reach it down, and then bring the other hand onto the strap. So I'm holding the strap in two places, and I can work at pulling with the bottom hand to lengthen through this top, and then I'm also working to get this bottom hand as high as it will go. And you can do that with a towel, with your clothing. You don't even have to use a strap. You can kind of grab onto whatever you're wearing. So there's lots of ways of accessing that. Okay, so we're in there if you can't reach your own hand. And then just release that off, just open and close. Just making sure those shoulders feel all right. And then I'd like us to lean over to the left. We're just going to take this right foot and bring it up behind into quad stretch. Okay, so holding onto the foot, if you can, grab the foot for me and bring it up. Knee is off the ground, and whole leg is off the ground, and we're driving the knee towards the ground, but we're getting a nice stretch through. And then again, just to counter, bringing that knee up, holding here. You can take hold of the foot, or you can take hold of the leg. You can use your strap, whatever you need to do, and just lengthen it up towards the sky, pulling up nice and tall. So you're getting a bit of hamstring stretch here as well. Sitting up out of it. Nice. Oh, that's good. I don't know what's going on with, oh, I tell you what it is. I went for a massive hike for 3 hours up and down hills yesterday. I was thinking, why are my legs hurting? I've just realised why. Because my friend and I went out yesterday for a nice walk. So just tucking that leg behind, left leg is now in front. We'll take the left arm out, round behind to the right side, and again just try and hold the wrist and pull it across. That makes sense to me now. Achy legs. Lovely, just breathing here, feeling that chest open. So again, this is one you can do at your desk. You know, you can just sort of, if you get a moment, I always say to everybody, like, set an hourly timer or a 55-minute timer, and then 5 minutes out of every hour you should get up and, you know, either pretend to go to the toilet or go to the toilet, because it's good for your kidneys to flush them out. That mobilizing, that movement as you go through door frames, hold on to them and pull yourself through, you know, just kind of hanging on. And then when you're on the loo, you can kind of do these exercises as well, and give yourself 5 minutes in every hour, and that will help tremendously. But you have to kind of set a little timer to remind yourself. All right, let's take that one across the front. Because otherwise, especially if you're working on something that's really involved, and I know there's a tendency to be like, oh no, I need to get this done, this is, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then we do that at the detriment of ourselves. So, yeah, really important. Put yourself first, just for a few minutes of every hour. You know, that's not a bad ratio, is it? 5 minutes out of every 60. and then up and over again. So just taking this into tricep stretch first, more traditional tricep stretch, letting that shoulder open, letting that underarm relax, and then you can take this arm down and around behind and see if you can connect. But yeah, you know, if you've got your phone near you or something on your computer, if you're working on computer, set a 55-minute timer, and then, you know, be a bit like Pavlov's dogs, won't you? You know, every time that timer goes off, you'll be like, oh, I need to wee now, and you might end up conditioning yourself. But you know, just get up, just move around, go make a drink, you know, just go to the water fountain, go to the loo, stretch out, roll the shoulders, work the legs. And I guarantee you will feel the benefit even after just like 3 or 4 days, you know. After a few weeks, it will just be so good. And release off. Lovely. Just leaning down into this side, just taking this leg behind, taking that stretch. We are designed for movement, people. That's why we have so many hinges and so many joints. There are some hinge joints, but we don't have hinges. But yeah, you know, sitting still for long periods, it's not good. Roll that in. See if you can take it all the way up. Oh. And then release it down. That one's coming back down. We're going to take the soles of the feet together this time. So no one leg in front. Again, if you're on that cushion, just make sure you're on it nice and evenly. And then looking to lengthen through here. Sitting up nice and tall, pull the chest back so we're not slumped. And just working through here, working through into the hips. And we haven't got, I mean, we have lay down, but you know, these sorts of things, you can do them in your chair, depending on what kind of chair you've got at work. But if you're sitting in a chair and it doesn't have arms, you know, you can always bring one leg up like this and just kind of give your hips a release. And it's so kind of covered by the desk and everything, people don't even need to know what you're doing. So, you know, there's ways that we can do it. But it is better to get up and move. Leave your, it's good for your mind as well, just, you know, your eyesight, everything. Get away from the screen just for a few minutes. Nice. One more breath here. Lovely. And then just letting those legs stretch out in front, just rolling the hips in the hip sockets, just making sure they feel like they're back where they should be. And then what I'd like you to do is come down to lying, if you will, please. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. Just got a lot of equipment out here. Come down to lying flat to begin with. Keep the knees bent, actually, so not totally flat. And we'll just cross the legs as if you were like, you know, sitting in the old-fashioned ladylike way, crossing the thighs at the top so there's no gap. It's not like this where we have the big gap when we're in pretzel. We actually want to cross the legs here. And we're just going to rock them from side to side in this position. And I'd like you to take your arms open and turn the palms down. So somatics, we are looking to open the chest, nice balanced between chest and back here. Lovely. And then just hold in center with the legs. Roll them in towards you if you can, and then just massage the lower back here. Okay. Excellent. And then the next time, so let me just explain what I've got. I've got my right leg over my left leg. So if you have that same setup, you're going to your left. If you've got the other setup, that's fine, you're just going to your right. So we're taking the leg that's on top to the opposite side, coming into a twist. And you'll feel this, it will activate into lower back, it will activate along. And then arms, as I say, arms out, palms down, and turn your head a little way as well. So you're getting a little bit of extra stretch there. Beautiful stretch into the chest. I can really feel that, and in the lower back. And then just use the legs, come back to center, and just unravel, and just stretch out, arms one way, legs the other. Just lengthen the body. Feel like you're really growing tall. And then relax everything back to center. Good work. So crossing the legs the other way, so the other leg comes on top. Again, it doesn't have to be the same way as me, just any which way. Take the arms out to the side, palms down, and just with that anchored foot on the ground, just rocking from side to side, just to notice how this feels. You're kind of working one leg, taking the other leg with you. Nice. And then just pause in the center again, just float the feet up off the floor if you can, and just continue that little rock from side to side. You get a nice stretch into the glutes, massage on the lower back. Lovely. And then again, just identifying what leg is on top. So I've got true left on top here. I'm going to drop over to my right as tight as I can. Turn my head back to the left side. So looking for release into glutes, into the shoulders, into the chest. Nice work, guys. Come back through center and unravel those legs, and just take that full body stretch again, just lengthening through. Lovely. So I'm just gonna get us to do one more posture here. So bring the legs together if you can, so have them active, so rather than kind of passively on the mat, have them activated, and as if you kind of glued them together, so have them together and try and point your toes, okay? And then what I'd like you to do is come up onto your elbows and look towards your feet, okay? So we're here in this posture here. And then I want you to imagine that somebody has grabbed hold of you in the front of your chest here and is pulling that up. So arch your back and just drop your head away. This is our fish pose, Matsyasana. One more breath. And then bring the head up, tuck the chin, let the arms splay out to the side. You can bring those legs into a more passive, relaxed posture and just relax off. So we're going to do a modified fish version. So I'd like you to fold your legs. So they are like they were when we were seated, one folded inside of the other. And you will feel that this will pull on the hips a little bit. And then we take the arms up overhead and we bring the hands into prayer over the head here. And we just try and lift up through the lower back, drop the head back looking as if you're trying to look for your hands. So this is a modified version of fish. And then what we'll do is we'll roll the knees up, we'll swap the legs over and then drop the knees down. So we're in the other cross of the legs, just to balance out the hips, see how it feels. But it's a much different fish to the full version of Matsyasana. And then just once more, bring those knees up. This time you can draw the knees in. Keep the elbows wide and down. I don't want you to be hunching up because we're looking at opening up. Draw the knees in. This is going to stretch out the lower back. Keep the elbows towards the floor. Keep the chest open. You can take a little gentle rock from side to side. Maybe a little circle here as well. And then go back the other way. And bring your feet onto the floor. Lovely. Just taking a moment, place your hand on your belly, just close your eyes. Drop the knees in towards each other, let the feet go wide. And just have a moment's observation. And then let that go. Now, what I'd like you to do, for those of you that have a block or a brick or a cushion, I want you to we're going to spend at least 60 seconds in hyperextension over this. So the block goes behind us. You're aiming for middle of the back. So if you think about your rib cage, it's about rib 6. So it goes from the top to the bottom. So it's really midway through. And, you know, kind of set it up. If you've got a bra on, it's easy because it's kind of bra strap, and you're feeling yourself relaxing over it. And when you look at the top of the block or the top of the thing, it should be kind of sticking out of the underarm here. So too high up and you won't get enough. You will just get a neck open, and too low down and it's not really doing anything but supporting the lower back. So you really got to just play with it. Feel like it's in the middle of the back. And then with regards to the legs, they can stay inward, they can stay neutral, they can stay outward, they can go straight, they just go wherever you feel. But open those arms up, look to be really opening through the chest. And if you haven't got a block there, or if your block's too big, you can roll up a cushion, you can roll up a towel, you can use anything, because you just want something that's going to lift this kind of where the heart is, really, you know, opening up this area. I've got my palms facing up here, just a gesture of surrender at the end of practice, but you can be more purposeful if you want and turn them down, that's up to you. And then just breathe and release. Come off the block for the final Shavasana. If you want to, just gently move it out and find Shavasana. If you're happy staying up there, if it feels good to you, stay there. Notice the breath, notice the body. Hopefully there's been a little bit of something in there today that's been beneficial to you, to your body at this time. Even if it's just this little piece of tranquility at the end. And then reach the arms away. We have to finish, sadly. We can't lay here all day as much as we'd love to. So just bringing purpose back, curling up, coming up. Sitting in a position that feels comfortable to you, supporting that seat as well. Nice. Take a breath in, raise, and draw down. Bowing the head. Loka Samasta Sukhinu Bhavantu. Namaste.